All right, so we got to watch an exclusive VIP type preview of the new Whitetail Adrenaline project. What can you tell the people Jared? When the fuck is it coming out?
When is it coming out?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to be very close by the end of this month, but I'll probably be a little bit into August before I have the complete wrap, and it'll be about 2 weeks after. As soon as I get done, I'll know. I'll get a pretty hard deadline from the manufacturing plant, which is usually about 2 weeks.
Okay.
And
then once that happens,
so the day we get them, they're going to be shipping out the door.
Where can people get it? Where can people access all Whitetail Adrenaline and everything?
Right now, whitetailadrenaline.com.
Okay.
It's on there. The DVDs, 2023. You might have to Amazon to get a player, but we got them. They will drop down the road on iTunes and Amazon, but that'll be into the fall a good bit.
Okay.
It usually takes a few months to get them.
You can go to Walmart and get a DVD player for $25.
I wish it was as easy as YouTube, where you could just upload it that night, but it don't work like that.
Yeah.
It's not how it works.
For sure.
Not how it works.
Well, I'll tell you can get a DVD player, a DVD player at Walmart, $25.
I'm gonna have to go buy. I'm gonna have to go buy one.
Mm-hmm. They're cheap.
I have one.
Yeah, invest.
An extra one?
Maybe.
Yeah, give me it.
We'll probably have one here.
You and your buddies throw your money together. You can all buy one.
And why are they still putting out DVDs?
What's a DVD?
If you were pitching to someone what Whitetail Adrenaline was and they had no fucking idea, how would you pitch it?
Ooh. I'd probably just go down the, I guess, what makes us unique or the content unique.
Sell me. What's Whitetail? Who are you? One of them things.
Excuse my friend, he doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's this guy thinks he's cool? Who is
so
he?
for 13 of the seasons we filmed were all public land. We have done all our hunting on the ground, like spot and stock style, going to the animals. Since 2009 was the last we used tree stands. We've never done any sponsorships, so it's funded by the people. That's why it's not on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
for us, by us.
Back then, 15 years ago, it was a little bit different. They've pulled back the reins quite a bit. The companies have on back then it was like watching an infomercial almost on a lot of the programming out there.
Yep.
And I didn't like that because you just cannot produce the same level of authenticity of a production. Today, it's changed a lot. I do believe that from what I can tell. So it's super authentic. It's captured in a way where there's, a lot of people don't really wrap their head around what unscripted. How I define true unscripted is the guys go out there filming these characters, and what true unscripted really is a lot of people think, oh, they don't have a script, like it's written down. It's really comes down to they're capturing this character in his natural element. And the character, if he's a good fit for this type of production, he doesn't go into consciousness of directing the storyline. It's just naturally unfolding. And the only way to really do that is to film a mountain of content.
Right.
And then the editor has the great task of sorting all that shit out.
Yeah.
And carving out, because there is no formal storyline. With okay, at approximately this time he talked about this, and this is where he did his, directive. He does. Yeah. So it's very natural feeling, but the editor has to go in and dissect and find the storylines within it. What he thinks is going to build a big story to whatever it is, an animal hitting the ground or whatever, or a great stock that was very close and we didn't get the animal, whatever, and then find mini storylines within this mountain of content that leads up to that
to build the overall,
it all right,
overall story.
There's not a voiceover to guide it. I mean, that would be, production's difficult as it is, but you drop a voiceover to guide the whole story leading up to it. Well, that's easy. You just go find some B-roll visuals to support it, and it's a lot easier.
This week on Whitetail Adrenaline,
but I want to point out,
boys,
and then it's what I do in audio to bring that to life. That's all recorded, on the fly. You got 40-mile-an-hour winds you're battling with to make that character come through, and mix soundtrack in there, and you can still hear what he's saying. It's getting you amped up. It's putting you on the edge of their seat. So that's kind of a lot about the production in that sense. And then you've got it's very authentic in the sense of, the misses, the journey. I mean, you've seen some of that, but you didn't see all the lead up yet of Tanner, like Struggle City. He had like 16, 17 failed stalks where he was right on the brink of getting the animal.
Yeah.
Before he even killed his first one, and that's his first time on the video series. I guess he was in the last one just a little bit on a gun hunt. So I don't that leads into him. All of a sudden, now he's just laying down,
hammering them down.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get too off. So if someone doesn't know, they kind of have a flavor.
Business, and like one of the things I was really proud of is that I was a pretty good pivotal part of getting Whitetail Adrenaline on iTunes, and we were the first hunting production to ever make it on iTunes.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
And how we had that happen is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I sent out 150.
Let me guess, you knew a guy that.
No,
worked at
I didn't.
iTunes. Oh,
I
shit.
didn't.
knows fucking everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah. You know at Gay Bar, he knows everybody there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, and they're all named Doug. So,
Zing.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
so
Gay.
Doug.
Don't say it, Kurt. Don't say it. I'm fighting them inner faggot demons.
I said it.
he said it. We're censored. So we want to get on iTunes because that was kind of a like overall business goal. And you can't just, like Jared said, you can't just upload the production on like YouTube. You have to have somebody who's called a distributor to get you on there. And it has to be like blessed by like Steve Jobs himself from the grave, right? There's so many steps to make that happen.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass.
So I sent 150 emails trying to get somebody to take us on a distributor. As you can imagine, everybody from LA and everybody from New York City wasn't super excited to take on a hunting production, right?
Yeah.
Obvious reasons, okay? Finally got somebody that was willing to, and they're out in New York. We're at the brink of doing it. The girl that was going to do it for us left the company. Couldn't get a hold of anybody again.
Shit.
6 months later, I and out of those 150 emails, I maybe got 25 rejection emails. Everybody else just ghosted me. And this place sent me a rejection email saying like, hey, we appreciate it. We're not going to do it at this time. We're not really taking on smaller companies or whatever. Well, COVID hits. And the owner of that company tweets, hey, we're here for the small production companies. We're helping you get through these hard times. And all I did is just commented with my rejection letter, and it went viral.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Good call.
And
Boss move.
he called me.
It was like, acknowledge us.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
Yeah. And I said, you're, and basically I'm just like, you can't say that and then pick
say
and
you're
choose.
here for the small business.
That's a big corporate bitch move type of thing. So
Yeah.
You called him on his bluff.
Yeah. And so it went viral. And basically the guy calls me right away. Next thing you know, we're partnership with another distributor. Boom, boom, boom. We're on iTunes.
Bitchin'.
So that was kind of like one of the things I'm probably most proud of with the company is being able to get us on that. And then Amazon came after that. And then, we have a really good distributor we work well with. So basically if I had to like sum up my job in general is I'm the guy that sits in the backstage, basically trying to move the pieces of the company to make sure that we're moving towards the common goal. And Jared really focuses on the editing and hunting aspect of it, and I focus really on the operations. And the nice thing is we're both like are aligned with our ideas and everything, but he doesn't micromanage me. I don't micromanage him, and we just.
I don't know how much we saw. I think we saw a fraction of it.
Yeah,
but what we did
definitely
watch
a fraction
was, dude. I mean,
the new set's 15 hours long. So what do we watch?
I think I could have sat there for 15 hours and watched the whole thing.
It's one of those productions that like pulls you in and keeps you watching. Like I find myself like if I got a text, I'd look at my phone and be like, fuck, I gotta watch this video.
Yeah.
Whereas normally you look at your text and then you're like, shit, I gotta rewind to get caught up. Whereas like you're ignoring your phone to watch the production. And it's like we watched some of Tanner's hunts and the whole production from the build up to the fails to the just goofy shit that dude does in general. It's just, God, you should.
I forgot to hit record.
It's kind of easy to overlook when you're watching it. It almost kind of flows, and you don't really sense the audio that's going on with everything. But you were talking about some of the hours that you've spent just cleaning things up, and it's unreal the amount of time you spend on
at least 1,000 hours just on audio.
It's unreal.
Yeah,
Well,
at least.
Wow.
Well, we kind of like,
And it's never quite where you want it to be.
so
It never is.
Yeah.
we try to like break down a little bit of how much time goes into every minute of content you watch. And because of like the way that it's filmed and everything that Jared does and editing and all that, it's roughly 5 to 6 hours of edit per minute. So what you watched out there, a 60 minutes, right? You're looking at 300 hours of edit.
And it's a 15-hour DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What's the math, Doug?
Carry the 2.
I can tell you it's the last 2 years.
yeah, I can tell you since it's been July of 2019.
Carry the 2.
So like, that's what a lot of
There's not even a 2 involved.
well, that's what a lot of people don't realize is the amount of time that goes
Yeah.
into per minute of that edit to get to
He's
that.
a young
right.
Well, you said that,
whippersnapper.
yeah.
Okay, when a
What's up,
group,
Jonas, bro?
group of 20-year-olds roll in and they talk to you, because I still feel like I'm 20.
Oh, yeah.
Like I still like have that internal feeling. Do you feel like you're cool to them?
No, because they usually ask like, oh,
They
do you guys know
usually
the
a lot of them
guys?
don't know anything
No, but
about
what I'm
it.
saying is like in your mannerisms, do you feel like they think you're cool?
No, I
like,
feel-
Oh,
no.
absolutely
Does that,
not.
does that question
Not
make
even
sense?
not.
Like
Like I wish they had subtitles.
when
Absolutely
those
not.
kids walk away from the Whitetail Adrenaline booth or the Working Class Bowhunter booth, are they like, those guys were pretty cool? Because when I was that age and I'd go to the booth and the dudes were like pretty down to earth and cool to me, I'd be like, those guys were cool. Do you feel that age gap leaves your booth going, those guys are pretty cool?
no, they immediately look us up on YouTube and don't find anything.
Yeah.
These guys are
like that's the issue.
Yeah, where's all,
Like,
where's
who
all
are
your-
these guys?
Yeah, where's all your free content?
Jordan, we got to get your take on that. Like,
Slide in here with Paletta.
Yeah.
yeah, there you go.
Want to send him my lap, big boy?
Hey, yo.
I don't know. I think, like when I saw you guys at the show,
At Iowa?
Yeah, like I thought you guys were cool, but I've listened forever. I mean, I went and talked to you guys, but
They weren't as cool.
I mean, yeah.
Losers.
Go sit down.
So did we?
What do you think now?
So we were cooler than they were.
Don't
I
give
mean,
him that.
it wasn't like a competition. I don't know. I don't really.
This is a competition.
This is a
I
competition
don't. I
for
didn't
sure.
think about it that way. I just was like,
But we were cooler. You thought?
If you had to pick a group to hang out with, who you hanging out with?
I would
Careful
pick
now,
both in the same setting.
Well, you're
Good
already,
answer. Good
Hey, listen, you already got an
You're a great
internship with
intern.
us.
you just got fired.
Yeah, wait till it happens. You might change your mind.
You're fired. Goodbye.
Yeah, the night is young. Okay, so did you leave? Like, did you go? How those dudes are kind of lame. They're kind of old.
You can be honest. Like honestly, truly,
It's a
tell
good
us
thing.
everything.
No, I've never like. No, I don't think that.
Like, do we seem old to you?
If I thought you were lame and old, I wouldn't like listen to the podcast
or have an internship
yeah,
with
like
us?
want to like work here. You know,
It's funny with an internship with Working Class Bowhunter, we're learning you get to learn Final Cut Pro, Adobe, audio, and dig for concrete all of a sudden. Which you already know that business. We'll get into that.
And
Like
learn how to
Tanner is
But that,
When you walked up on your giraffe,
yeah, I thought I was
Oh,
like
yeah,
Tanner,
true.
like excited, going fucking crazy, and then I watch it back and I'm like, I'm kind of just standing there.
you're pretty collective. Yeah.
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 You know, I had to take
you're
it all
emotional,
in.
but you're kind of like,
Well, why do you
Slow.
think that is? Why do you think we're wired
That
like
is
that?
I think
I
that
don't
some
know.
individuals are just.
I think it's how you process an intense moment.
I think it means so much to us that it's hard for us to process that the moment's actually happening. We envision it for so long and we're so passionate about it. When we're actually in the moment, it's like, am I in a dream or is this actually really happening?
Song grab.
That's a great
That's fun.
way
That's,
to word that.
that's absolutely
That's
like
so-
TJ
Yeah, that's a
matched my
great
energy.
way to-
Well, think about turkey hunting versus whitetail hunting.
True.
When you're turkey hunting with your buddy, I mean, you're jacked when you
is
shoot a
true. I got
turkey,
that on
right?
video.
Yeah.
Right, you're
yeah.
jacked.
Do you think that might be why you guys
Maybe.
have that initial reaction? Because like, who am I going to cheer to? Myself?
Well,
That way you can give the deer high five or what?
Yeah, exactly.
well, that or think about the animal you're taking, right? Like you're talking giraffes, bears, elk, right? I mean, these are all animals
Significant
that
once in a
we
lifetime.
desire, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not trying to downplay turkey hunting, but we've all killed a lot of turkeys,
Yeah,
right?
fuck
But you're
know what
right.
I mean?
Something about like I've
get
killed
pumped
turkeys
up.
with Austin. I've killed turkeys with.
But you're
Doug.
with
It's like,
one of your buddies though.
yeah, you get up, you're like,
it's a
fuck
blast.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, right, right.
Like, I killed a Jake.
yeah, exactly. Look at that 3-inch beard.
Yeah, sick, dude. Breast him out. It's like, yeah, them are
sandwich.
tits. Count it. It's like it's it's weird.
It's it's like situational almost.
It is. Yeah.
yeah, it's like a Jake to giraffe.
I guarantee you, like,
Dude, we need a shirt.
How do we go from there?
Eric's
Make a
situation
shirt.
was like the most serious situation I think I've ever seen.
Working class
and-
bow hunter, Jake's to giraffes.
yep.
Like watching that video too, like you can tell like
It's-
when I walked up on it because everyone got completely silent. I had to have my little moment with the animal,
Fuck yeah, dude.
and then we started celebrating. You know, like after that,
It had a
whatever,
register.
Like
whatever it was, it
the
seemed like
moment
fucking.
your arrow touched that animal, it was like, we got to, super serious. Like everything's got to be.
Well, everyone forfeited their hunt. Literally, Eric shot the
Yeah.
giraffe.
I was gonna go kill
arrow
world
and
record
giraffe.
kudu.
Everyone got on the radio. We're all like, all right, we're gone.
Doug was
That
like
was a heavy
fucking
moment for
Yeah.
all of us.
20 miles away.
I was gonna kill a world record kudu, but I had to go
The
see a
fucking
giraffe.
Cabbage Patch. You could have stayed, bro.
There's always next year.
How could I? There's no way I could have.
Yeah, what a bummer. You missed out on all that.
Can I ask Jared like a pretty tough question here?
Just fuck yeah, it's your
Oh,
show,
Jesus.
All right.
dude. This is your guys' episode.
So no,
I'll give you a tough answer.
Fuck off.
it's perfect because I'm taking a piss in there and I could hear everything he was saying. So that's perfect that you said that, because do you ever think that you're getting in your own way with our production because of all the years that you put into it?
Not
'Cause you-
really.
Why?
Because at the end of the day, well, I mean, over the years, we've retained a very high percentage come back and buy it again.
But if people
And so that tells me that the quality does matter at the end of the day.
because can I
And if you've got X amount of percentage of production that isn't produced really super taking it to that max, and you're in the lower percentage, well, then you're going to have a great amount of people that do a high retention rate of when you do. So yeah, I mean, I've found ways to. I'm sad. I
like
won't
the-
be satisfied. I
So
just,
the argument I have is-
once you know how to take something to a certain level, which I know how to take a production to a pretty high level.
Yeah, the highest.
Once you have the ability, you feel like you're gonna. At least me, I feel like I'll let people down on that aspect.
But you're an artist looking at your art.
Well,
that's
right.
what I want to point
Right.
out. Is like he's an artist looking at his art, right? One of the few arguments we ever got into, and I'm probably pulling back the shades a little more than I should.
Pull it back, brother.
Is
See the coochie. Show us.
Pull the curtains back.
What? What?
is when he
Got my
told me
dollars out.
that he wanted to recolor grade an entire feature because there's like some fucking tree in the background that didn't look right. Basically, is what it was.
no.
Let me finish.
It was
And
a lot
Shut up,
deeper.
Jared.
And I said, and we had this argument. I'm like, all right, you're watching this on a 90-inch Sony XR like Bravia TV with 14.7 surround sound, right? Like that's what he's like. People are gonna watch this on their phone.
What it was is I graded the entire first feature, and I didn't think about like people are now going to be watching a lot more on their phones.
I said
and the
that.
contrast ratio. Yeah, well, it wasn't just
I
one
said
tree.
that to
Like,
you.
how long does it take to grade one shot? Not very long.
But you regraded the entire
it's,
feature
it's close to
because of that.
2,000 shots in a 2-hour production. Like, that's how fast our cut rate is.
But that's why I asked you, like, do you think you get in your own?
Well, I didn't tell you. I did it a third time. I didn't tell you that.
motherfucker.
A complete third time.
Sheesh.
I redid it a complete third time.
So that's why I asked you, I'm like, do you think you get in your own way sometimes? Because you are literally like, you guys are testimony. Like, you guys saw this, how uneasy he was when we were watching that today.
Yeah.
It's because the HDMI like card reader or whatever the fuck
Couldn't keep up.
couldn't keep up with the video.
So
Like to the RTV.
That and the
Because
picture
it's-
wasn't quite where
the
I
quality's
wanted it.
there, right?
Yeah, and
but
you
I'm
guys
used
are
to
all like,
watching
this
on
is
a
fucking,
different-
this is unreal.
By the way, we have like a pretty good fucking setup for what the normal dude's gonna have.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like you even gave us credit on our speakers, and
Yeah.
that's a fucking big deal.
That's
right?
The speakers were good.
Everything else you hated.
I had to turn the TV to like cinema filmmakers mode
Jesus Christ.
because the standard
Yeah,
setting.
he went through every mode.
hey,
and
go
explained me.
look at it.
Before-
It's
But
Before
no,
we have our VIP watch party, you buy the fucking TV for next door.
I'll bring mine.
everybody,
bring mine.
but everybody, he does not get in his own way.
Look how bad
That's a
it is,
t-
and
that's a
they'll
good
be
argument.
like,
Eric, I
what'd
gotta-
you fuck up?
I got a great analogy to what you just said. Mark Rife and his taxidermy.
Yep.
Mark Rife is, dude. Sam Gaylord and Linda. They're like, dude, get Mark in here. We want Mark as our guy. Like Mark's one of the best whitetail taxidermists in the fucking game.
In the country.
in the world for whitetails. But he's such a perfectionist that he can't produce the whitetail heads fast enough to like make a sufficient income because he's giving commercial prices for the highest production
Yes.
tournament taxidermy, and it's not sustainable. So is it a great quality to have as an artist?
Yes.
In your
Yes.
form and
Yes.
your form and Mark's form, the best quality.
Yes.
It is the best quality. But I do get it, and you're gonna hate me saying this. You are, and Mark would, and he's gonna listen to this. He's gonna hate me saying this. Sometimes it's all right to put it out at the best quality because it's still better than everything else. But it still bothers you guys when you look at it. But it's the proficiency of it. Now, would I ever be like, Eric, do less? Jared, do less? Hey, Mark, do less? Hey, Sam at Old Barn, do less? You know, Larissa at Old Barn, do less. Like I'm never gonna tell an artist to do less.
But it's with everyone though. Like I see it in you when you're editing videos and stuff too. You're like, I don't think this is right. This little moment happens. I'm
Right.
like, bro, no one's ever gonna fucking notice that.
That's right. So you get what I'm saying.
I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Doug just, I don't know what.
Hey, Doug,
does.
that's a great fucking way to word it because here, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, but like guys and anybody will watch outdoor production on regular television, outdoor channel, Sportsman's channel. We were watching, what were we watching? Canada, whatever that Canadian version of that is. It's a great, actually it was great. Like,
It was like Canadian outdoor television or something like that.
I enjoyed it, but guys will sit and watch that and watch commercial and then watch commercial inside the shows and then watch commercial during the hunt and then watch commercial during. Basically, it's a full commercial, kind of what you were referring to earlier, Jared. And guys will have no problem with it. They'll just watch it because their brains are programmed for that traditional type of commercial.
But they also didn't give them $100 to watch that though.
But here, let me make my point here. But they'll watch that. It costs. They pay for the cable. They pay for the network or their channels, their subscriptions that comes in the package. They'll watch that without fucking writing a hate comment anywhere, no matter where. We do 15 minutes on a 2-hour podcast of ads that directly go to us to feed our children. And people are like, oh, yeah, you got to sit through fucking 15 minutes of commercials. When you watch a 20-minute or a 30-minute show and 10 minutes of it are commercials,
I
we're giving you
figured
2 hours of content.
Not that. 20
Years-
minutes of it's commercial. And you get
years
10
a-
minutes of content.
Yeah, right.
Years ago, I figured it out, like on a few of the productions, like how much time somebody spends watching commercials. Like, you know, I think it was probably around the Defiance year. You know, it was a 4.5 hour set.
Defiance is when you shot your Dago.
And then a 2-hour gun set on top of that, so you get 6.5 hours. Okay, this is how much commercial time. Just kind of running it like
Yeah.
Through your head. Just for the
what
hell
was
of it.
It was 16 minutes an hour times 6. You watch 76 minutes of commercials plus whatever's commercialized within the production itself. And you know, and there's a handful of people that would come to they didn't want to pay $20 for it, and I'd be like, well, what's your time worth? Like, you want to watch commercial for
Dude, that
break
right
it
there
down.
is just a mic drop. Like,
you know, like you want to watch 76 minutes worth of commercials plus what's in the show.
it also shows
You know,
you
I
like,
found a good way to put it where it was like comical or funny, but
but
you know.
really